搭機嗰啲魚咁樣，長大好耐住嚟。佢真係一間牛，佢攞翻出嚟，因為搭多次，搭都等於冇搭過，即係好景㗎。你而家知唔知啊？佢嗱一日佢就佢教今次呢就全部英文同呢你問下佢幾時有英文嘅講法？有㗎啦，咁以中文為主，有㗎啦，譯咗㗎啦，譯咗嘅。咁佢有新聞講過有個 term 好似有好少解釋出嚟，跟住話以中文為主。以前都係以英文㗎嘛，而家就幾時？嗰個立住嗰個咩？法國幾時？係喎。哦，你睇嘢。快㗎啦，用普通話。普通話。咁咪重新學過㗎嘛？隻貓嘅。呢個隻貓反光喎，我就點樣反光㗎嘛？飾物嚟嘅，唔係佢擺嚟。係咪錄音㗎？有個頭箍啊！反光啊！頭先就而家得㗎 ？OK， 佢搶咗阿司長㗎喎。借咗你，我係我搞嚿先嚇，上落嚟啊！係啦，低啲啦，係啦，頂翻先。咁條依家即㗎啦，好，跟住。但我一 AM 就要落翻嚟，都冇用喎。佢就唔聽講。頭先嗰個秘書啊，去問借有咩人我咧基本上一定要公平嗰啲資源，即係你問咩啊？今時今日都
checks and balances to avoid the abuse of powers? What did you take it?
The 7 measures that were announced yesterday and gazetted, actually among the 7 measures, 4 measures are current practices in Hong Kong law. For example, the power to search. In general situations, it will be conducted under a warrant issued by the court. But in exceptional circumstances, where likely, such as evidence may be destroyed in a short period of time, or the person responsible may have a chance to escape, this situation, when the police officers faces it, then they may have to search, they can search the premises without applying for a search warrant for reason as I have mentioned. Such practice actually exists in current laws, such as when police have to do the similar thing under the Arms and Ammunition Ordinance, or when the ICAC exercise their powers under their relevant laws. In regard to confiscation, restraint of assets, this is already the practice in our Hong Kong law in the Organised and Serious Crimes Ordinance or the United Nations Anti-Terrorism Measures Ordinance. Another measure which requires people to show up at certain place to answer questions and to produce materials, again, is a practice currently in the Organised and Serious Crimes Ordinance and the United Nations Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Ordinance. So these are all the current practices which we extend to cover the new offences created by the National Security Law. There is another practice which only ICAC officers has under the present Prevention of Bribery Ordinance, when officers of the ICAC can require a person under investigation to surrender his passport through an application to the court. So we are extending this power so that in respect of national security offences, then the police officers can apply the law. So all these 4 measures are measures that are currently in the Hong Kong statutes. In regard to interception and covert surveillance, again, this is a measure that is currently in place in Hong Kong. But in regard to offences or potential offences in relation to national security matters, then Chief Executive will be the authorizing officer. This is not a practice that is peculiar to Hong Kong. In a lot of jurisdictions, including Western countries, in matters relating to national security, there are practices that the government officials, such as ministers or prime ministers, can issue authorizations for interception or covert surveillance. Each place, of course, have their own safeguards and scrutiny as regards the exercise of the power. In our case, the exercise of this power will be scrutinized by the National Security Committee. And the National Security Committee may appoint an independent person to assist the National Security Committee to scrutinize the exercise of such power. So this, again, is not entirely new. In regard to taking down messages on the internet which may cause occurrence of offences in relation to national security, this also is a practice that is being done in a lot of overseas countries when they have powers to take down messages in public interest or in relation to various offenses. What we do now is the police has to have reason to believe that such information may cause occurrence of offenses in relation to the national security law. And the person responsible or the service company that provides the service then have a duty to take down. So this is a measure that is being practiced by other jurisdictions in different places so as to protect either public interest, various interests, and also public national security interests as well. There is also a measure which requires foreign political organizations or their agents or Taiwan political organizations or their agents when they have activities in Hong Kong, and the Commissioner of Police believes that for the prevention and investigation of offences in relation to national security, then he can require such persons or organizations to provide information. This is to control the relevant activities so as to ensure that in the interest of prevention and detection of offences in relation to national security, then the police has the required tool. A similar power actually exists in the present society's ordinance, where the society officers can demand any society to provide information that the society officers consider necessary in the discharge of his duty. So again, it's not entirely new. But what is required under the law is, provided that the organization of the person provide that information, then his responsibility is discharged. There are checks and balances in all the measures, as I've explained. In some of the measures, then, such as the search in general is conducted by the court. In the exercise of the OSCO powers and the UNETNO powers, then they may have to apply for permission from the court. The whole procedures are in compliance with the protection of human rights and also in compliance with the ICCPR. And that has been made very clear in the enactment of the law, the national law, and also as a result in our making of the rules.
局長有啲外國嘅平台咧講明咧就話，即係佢暫時唔會處理嚟自香港即係執法當局嘅要求啦。即係如果佢唔配合嘅話，即係警方諗住點樣做咧？同埋會唔會可能即係動用國安法入邊嘅權力咧，即係封鎖某啲網站或者通訊軟件，譬如講 Telegram 咧？第二個問題係咧，我哋可唔可以證實咧，即係喺呢個國安法嘅執行實施嘅細則當中咧，其實係主要由北京當局係幫香港去做？有冇解釋下保安局喺呢個細則嘅立法當中嘅角色係乜嘢？
嗱，首先咧，我哋而家嘅其中一個措施咧，係要求個人或者網絡服務供應商等等咧，去移除一啲信息，而嗰啲信息咧係警務處長合理地相信咧係可能導致有危害國家安全嘅罪行發生嘅。所以第一，呢一個規限咧係嚴格嘅。第二，我哋只係要求佢去移除或者去令到他人不能夠再接收呢啲信息。我哋同佢發放呢啲信息所涉及嘅罪行咧，係會按照現有其他香港法律去處理嘅。咁所以首先大家明白，今次製造嘅細則嘅範圍咧，其實係只係 喺某一個範疇嘅規限嘅。第二，喺資訊自由方面，香港係開放嘅，所以任何人士喺資訊發放方面，只需要符合香港嘅法律呢，佢係同我哋平常生活呢，我哋一向嘅做法係冇差別嘅。第三，不同嘅公司佢作出不同決定呢，佢考慮嘅理由或者佢講出嚟嘅理由呢，都可以係佢自己個人公司嘅利益嘅理由嘅。但係我哋呢度係要求呢，係對香港整體利益，第一係維護國家安全嘅利益，第二呢個都符合公眾嘅利益，而到去保障我哋整體香港喺資訊自由方面，既可以行使我哋日常嘅一啲運作，亦都符合我哋法律上面嘅原則。
個細則係咪由北京主要？個細則係咪主要由中央去負責咧？主要係由中央草擬咧？你哋有冇角色咧？
個細則嘅制定咧，係由我哋國家安全委員會嘅制定嘅。國家安全委嘅事情咧，我哋係唔會公開嘅。
兩位想問下咧，即係而家喺國安法嘅實施細則底下咧，就賦予咗警權，即係佢哋相當大嘅警權咯。咁就想問翻，如果警方係即係執行呢一啲即係做法嘅時候有違規嘅情況，咁究竟個懲罰機制係點，或者係邊一個去即係監督住警方去做呢一啲事咧？另外就係即係當呢個警方去做呢啲事嘅時候，係咪即係凌駕咗喺呢個基本法或者係甚至係即係所有法律上面咧？點樣去保障翻即係一個嫌疑犯佢本身應該有嘅人權咧？最後就想問翻兩位就係而家唱榮光係咪即係屬於係犯法嘅咧？應該
警務人員喺行使佢嘅權力咧，都一定要守法嘅。我相信呢一個咁嘅要求咧，多次特區政府都講得好清楚嘅。喺行使呢個權力嘅時候，其實又係不同嘅制約嘅。例如喺某啲方面咧，係要經過法庭批准嘅。剛才我講過啦，有行使喺有組織及嚴重罪行條例，又或者反恐條例嘅一啲權力咧，都係要法庭批准嘅。今次我哋制定呢7個措施咧，我哋只係俾警務人員有需要而適當嘅權力嘅，只係俾到咁多嘅啫。我哋認為呢個權力係適合去履行國家安全法所要求特區政府履行嘅責任同埋義務嘅。至於任何人違反法律咧，佢都一樣係要負責嘅，無論呢個係市民或者係政府，又或者執法人員，好清晰嘅。好，多謝各位。
滾高啊！